A dog cafe owner was caught with more than £6,000 of heroin hidden underneath his floorboards. Canine restaurateur Andrew Kane turned warehouse man for a Liverpool-based gang who posted the illicit substances to Scotland. They hid them in a park after the collapse of his business. Paul Blasbury, prosecuting, told Liverpool Crown Court how police raided the 39-year-old's home on Sedgley Walk in Huyton on October 16th last year. They found 606 wraps of heroin stashed under the floorboards. These Class A drugs came with an estimated street value of £6,060, with cutting agents, a set of scales, and an electric mixer also seized from the address by officers. Less than 3 weeks earlier, on September 28, 2021, a separate investigation in Scotland had discovered around 1,000 wraps of heroin and crack cocaine. They were found hidden on the banks of the River Don in a park in Stonywood, Aberdeen, on September 28, 2021. Kane's DNA was found on the wrappings, with a gang from Merseyside having been transporting and stashing the drugs for onward sale in the area. He handed himself in at Coppy Lane Police Station on November 11th, and later pleaded guilty to being concerned in the supply of Class A drugs. He received 5 years and 219 days behind bars at the High Court in Edinburgh back in May. This was his third strike, having previously been jailed for 2 years and 8 months in 2009 for being concerned in the supply of Class A drugs. He also served 5 years for possession of heroin and crack cocaine with intent to supply, following another conviction in 2011. Gerald Baxter, defending, described his client as a, quote, warehouse man who had stored the drugs and then posted them north of the border. He said, quote, "I accept, of course, that the defendant is what we call a third striker. That is what he was when he came before the court in Edinburgh. It was essentially the same criminal drug activity as regards to the Edinburgh case and also the Liverpool case." Mr. Baxter added, quote, "The defendant is in effect a warehouse man. Drugs were being stored at his house and then moved to Scotland, and of course, he didn't know what would happen to them after that." Kane, now of no fixed address and appearing in court via video link to HMP Addiwell, admitted a further charge of possession of heroin with intent to supply. He was locked up for another 4 years. Judge Robert Trevor Jones also ordered the forfeiture and destruction of the drugs. Reports following the defendant's court appearance in Scotland described how he had opened Pups and Cups Bistro on Prescott Road, Old Swan, back in 2018. The premises was described as the city's first venue dedicated to a dog-friendly service at the time, but Kane and his business partner went their separate ways around Christmas 2019, with the cafe closing as a result.